Hey guys, and welcome to episode 47 of How I Made My First $1 Million. Today we are looking at the numbers from August 1st, 2024. So let's dive in. Okay, assets coming in at 77,300. Those are down 1,500 from last month. This is the exciting part. Liabilities, 19,800, which are down 4,000 from last month. That's big. I made a big debt payment. Nice. So overall net worth 57,500. That's up 2,400 from last month. And before I go any further, I forgot about this comment from Personal Finance 53. Please, could you attach an Excel template to your next video description? Yes. So now somebody's asked 2 months in a row. So yes, I'll do it. I will attach an Excel template to the video description. Yes, I will do it. And if I remember, I'll go back to last month's video and also put it in that description. And I guess it'll just be in every description moving forward. So that's the plan. So yes, I will do that. Yeah, no worries. Oh, we almost forgot to look at the assets. What happened here? Okay, cash is down a little bit. Gold. By the way, this is gold and silver. I probably mentioned that like a year ago, but it's gold and silver. And I have like roughly equal amounts of both, but I don't separate them out here. And it barely moved on the month. Bitcoin / crypto, again, for a long time, like a couple years or something, it's been only Bitcoin. There is no other crypto. And that was basically flat. Kiva basically flat, well, $2. Okay. So yeah, not a whole lot of things moving there, but in terms of liabilities, I did pay off $4,000 of student loans. So I tried to settle my private student loans, but they wanted too much. So I just paid $4,000 on the federal student loans. Yeah, so basically for a 1-to-1 reduction, no settlement or anything like that. So yeah, anyways, that's what happened. I'll explain more about that possible settlement when I get to the updates section. All right, let's look at the chart. Well, we're inching along. Okay, 55.1, 57.5. I mean, it's going up, it's going up. 52.4. Not by a lot, but it is going up. It's going up very slowly, the net worth, that is. However, these red columns, the red bars here, shrinking, getting closer to zero. I am on pace to be debt-free by the end of the year. I can definitely do it by the end of the year. We're only in August, so yeah, should be able to do it. That's going to feel amazing. Can't wait. All right, income statement. What happened here? Well, we made less money, but that's because I'm, paid based on how many days are in the month. That is going to be changing. But that's what happened here. Not that exciting. Expenses dropped a little bit. Well, let's look at the overall number for a second. Okay, from 12,000, man, that's so much, down to 10,000. And net income, so instead of losing money, basically I'm paying off debt, right, each of these months. So it looks like I'm losing money, but really I'm making debt payments. So, win some, lose some. So, okay, spent 10 grand, fine. What did we spend it on? Rent's the same. Food and beverage went up because I traveled a lot. Things are more expensive when you travel. Body and wellness went down. Yeah, travel and adventure, exactly. So that's like, plane tickets and hotels and gas and all that stuff. And eating at restaurants a little bit more, Didn't spend $7,000 on taxes. It's kind of nice having like $0 for a tax expense, because it used to be $152 a month for a lot of months, and now that doesn't happen anymore because I paid off that tax liability. What else happened? Yeah, okay, debt payment, $4,000. So that's the bulk of it. And helpful people. Can't remember what that was. Oh, tax prep. Okay, so I actually paid. I actually wrote a check to my accountant for last year's tax prep. Just coincidental that it happened in this month that I paid off a lot of taxes. Okay, so those are the expenses. Yeah, that's that. Cash flows. What happened here? Okay, back to a net positive operating cash flow. That's nice. So spent way less on taxes, interest and taxes, as we mentioned. So that's nice. And then in terms of financing, it's obviously way bigger because of that, paying off money that I had borrowed many years ago in my youth, in my college years, when I went to school to learn about money. Well, they got me. Oh, all right. The lessons continue. Anyways, okay, so yeah, I have nothing else to say about this. Let's do the updates. So I'm still relending on Kiva until I reach the 99th percentile. And probably the most frustrating thing is I don't know how close I am. I just have no idea how much or how little progress I'm making by lending. But whatever, I'm doing it. It's not the most important thing in the world. It's just something I'm doing. Still in New York for the summer. Probably going to be here 2 more weeks. Hard to say. Yeah, probably 2 more weeks. So I'm guessing the next video will be back in Florida. Okay, so regarding the student loans, with my private student loans, I called them up, offered to settle, and they said, they were really nice about it. They were so nice. They said, your loans are past the statute of limitations, so they've ceased all collection efforts. They're not going to sue me. They're not going to call me. They're not going to send me letters in the mail saying that I need to repay it. And they haven't for a while. I haven't really paid attention, but a couple of years, I'm guessing. And they said that any payment that I give them of any size, whether it's a settlement or not, is strictly voluntary. Strictly voluntary. I just don't have to do it. And I talked to several people at the company, and they said the same thing, and they were really nice. They were like over communicative about it. So I was like, okay, I guess I don't have to pay, but that felt wrong. It felt wrong to just not pay. So I was like, okay, no, I want to pay you guys something. And they said, okay, well, you can pick an amount and offer it, and then I can send it to my manager and see if they accept the amount. So I offered $1,500 for a loan of roughly $12,000. It's roughly $12,000, and I offered $1,500 because my experience with settling these other loans is that they'll often take 20%. So I wanted to come in a little bit low just because maybe they would take it. And I figured that they would come back with, no, you got to give us 20%. And then I would say, fine, and pay it off. But they didn't. They came back with 40%. And so 40% on 12,000, what was that, like 4,800? Here's a fun, yeah, that's going to be 4,800. Yep. Okay. So anyways, that was a lot more. That was like more than triple what I actually wanted to give them. So I said, no, that's not going to work. And again, any payment is voluntary. So I just kind of was like, all right, thanks anyway. Have a nice day. Just hung up the phone. So I don't know. That's still sitting there. It's also still on my credit report, and it's still weighing on my conscience. So I'm going to do something with it. I'm not sure what. Probably offer them 25% and see if they take it. But in the meantime, the $4,000 that I did pay went to the other student loan I have of also roughly $12,000. Now it's down to roughly $8,000. And that is, federal public loan. So I believe those are the ones that the Biden administration is canceling for people left and right. So right after I made that payment, I had an email, coincidentally, that's here's the next wave of cancellations from the Biden administration. So I read it, and I don't qualify, but it's just funny, the timing. So anyways, onward. All right, relationship with body. Still no yoga. That's 2 months in a row. Haven't done it since I've been up in New York. Disc golf, jogging 5 times, occasional push-ups, sit-up, squats, but that's only 3 times in the whole month. I mean, that's it's not that much. And generally speaking, I feel like I've had a pretty lackluster relationship with my body. I haven't been treating it like a temple the way I typically like to. So haven't been sleeping as well. Haven't really made the best dietary choices. Had a lot of alcohol this past month. Some months I have 0. Had a lot of coffee. Most months I have 0. So yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I guess these videos are nice because I can recalibrate. So I want to improve this category, definitely. All right, relationship with others. I've had 3 softball games in the month. I missed one because of traveling, and then have some rainouts. Played golf 7 times, including 6 times at Cross Creek, Pennsylvania, in a golf trip with a bunch of guys. There were like 20 guys that went this year. That's really fun. Went to the Bitcoin conference in Nashville, or I should say, I went to Nashville at the time and place of the Bitcoin conference, but I did not go inside the venue because I did not buy a ticket, which is a little strange. But I talked to some people in the hotel and like nearby, and that was good. But I plan on going to the conference next year. From there, we went to a family barbecue in Kentucky. That was not my family, but it's basically my in-laws. That was good. That was the first time I ever spent any meaningful time in Kentucky. It was really good. Everyone was super friendly, and it was, I guess, a nice vacation, you might say. It was only one day. And the next day we went to a Reds game, baseball, in Cincinnati, Ohio. That was great. That's where my father-in-law is from. So he's a big Reds fan, and he goes back to Cincinnati pretty frequently. So we decided to go with him and attend a game, and that was awesome. It was a lot of fun. Also been doing occasional friend Zooms and working a lot. And this past month, I had appearances on UBS Trending and Schwab Futures. So yeah, a good experience doing all that stuff. Working is taking a lot of time, and there are so many things to do at work. So many things. I'm trying to see them as like opportunities rather than obligations. Because when I see them as obligations, I burn out so fast. Like there's way more things than one person could possibly do. So I'm trying to see them as opportunities that I can like choose from and say like, okay, what's going to be the biggest value add? Have the greatest impact, that sort of thing. So yeah, just trying to be thankful for that and not feel overwhelmed or like resentful, which is sometimes a temptation. So anyways, that's good. And I feel like I spent so much time with others, relationship with others this past month. Like I almost over-indexed on this category compared to the other two. But I think that was a really good amount of interaction with other people. I'd like to sustain it and then just sort of improve these other 2 categories. So, relationship with self. I'm still reading Hijacking Bitcoin by Roger Ver. Very slowly, but I'm learning a lot. Wouldn't necessarily say that I'm agreeing with his overall recommendation from the book, but I agree with so many of his like premises, if you will, just not his final conclusion, if that makes sense. And yeah, still watching a lot of chess and playing a little bit of Minecraft. And yeah, so that's pretty typical. And then how am I thinking, feeling, and doing? I put a note here because like last month I like couldn't think of the word. So when I had these words, I actually wrote them down. So a little bit I'm feeling discouraged and impatient because I want more like validation on my journey by getting bigger net worth increases month to month. Okay, that was like the feeling. So on the first of the month, right now today's the 4th. So on the first of the month I sit down and do all the numbers, and that's the only time of the month where I like calculate my net worth and any of these numbers. So it's like, oh, it only went up whatever $1,000 or 2,000. I was like, oh, that's so little, compared to back in the day. These really steep rises. I wasn't even working. Like I didn't even have a job, and so it was like effortless to like have this go from whatever it went 26,000 to 200,000. It didn't require any work, didn't require any effort, and it's so steep. And it happened again here, and obviously it's pretty steep when it comes down as well, right? I know that, but like I guess I got a little bit spoiled, and I sort of had my expectations I don't know, misaligned or something. because there were such big increases month to month, and then here it's just like so slow, and I'm like really grinding it out. Like I'm spending a lot of time. I mean, it's a 40-hour a week, not that I count the exact hours, but it's a full-time job, and sometimes I work nights and weekends, and it's like I'm putting in so much effort, and the growth is so slow compared to what it was before. There was no effort, and the growth was really fast. Also, the decay was really fast, right? It plummeted. That was a very painful period, so presumably that will never happen again, or I guess maybe I could try to have that never happen again. But anyways, yeah, so when I do the numbers and it's such a small increase, it's like, oh man, that's a bummer. So anyways, but it's been 3 days now since I first started feeling that way, and I'm just trying to, again, recalibrate to an attitude of gratitude. An attitude of gratitude. Yeah, because I do feel so lucky and privileged in life. Things are amazing. And like net worth is not the most important thing. Like I know this whole video journey and so forth is towards a $1 million net worth, but that's just like a fun experiment. It's not like it necessarily means anything, right? Like all the meaning comes from the choices and the decisions along the way. So anyways, that's a little bit how I'm feeling. I've shared everything that I'm doing, and that's how I'm thinking. So yeah, I guess I will leave it there for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next month.